Hello students, welcome to part 2 of finding analysis class. In the previous video, we learned what analysis class are and the characteristics of good analysis classes. In this session, we will discuss the different techniques used to identify analysis classes from the software requirements. The first one in this video is finding classes. There are three commonly used techniques for finding analysis class. First is a non-verb analysis, where we examine the requirement documents is to identify classes and responsibilities. The second one is a CRC analyst, which help us to refine the classes by identifying their responsibilities and collaborators. The third technique is looking for other sources of classes such as physical objects, documents, user interface, and conceptual entities. So first we are going to be seeing the finding classes using noun verb analysis. Noun verb analysis is one of the simplest techniques during object oriented analysis. Here, we carefully read the requirement specification and identify nouns and verbs. Generally, nouns represent candidate classes or attributes, while verbs represent the responsibilities or operations of those classes. For example, consider the requirement: a customer places an order and makes a payment. Here, customer, order, and payments are nouns. Place and makes represent the responsibilities performed by the customer. So, this slide, noun verb analysis procedure, step 1 and step 2. So, the first step is to collect all available information, including the use case document, supplementary requirements, project glossary, and any visions or architecture document. Next, highlights the important nouns, noun parsers, verbs, and verb parsers. For example, consider the sentence: the student submits an assignment through the portal. The nouns are student, assignment, and portal. The verb is submit. So, at this stage, we simply identify the possible classes and responsibilities without deciding the final relationship. Okay, so next we are move on to the CRC analysis. So it is the second techniques. So where CRC stands for class, responsibilities, and collaborator. So these techniques help us to understand how different classes work together to achieve the required functionality. It consider one of the most effective techniques for validating analysis classes because it focuses on collaboration between objects instead of individual classes. So the next is a CRC card. CRC card is divided into three sections: top, left, and right. So the top compartment is contains the class name. Left compartment is have the list of responsibilities of the class, and right compartment is list the collaborators, where which other classes that helps completely those responsibilities in the right component. For example, in the online shopping system, the order class may collaborate with the customer class and the payment class to complete the purchase process. So the next one is CRC analysis procedure. So CRC analysis procedure contains of two phases. The first phase is brainstorming, where the analyst and domain experts identify possible classes, responsibilities, and collaborations. The second phase is the analyze, where identifying classes are refined by applying rules of thumb we see in the previous video and removing unnecessary classes and improving the overall class structure. The next one is a brainstorming phase. So during the brainstorming session, every participant is encouraged to suggest possible business objects without any criticism. Each object is written on sticky note or whiteboard The team then discuss the responsibility of each object and identify which class need to collaborate with one another. The process encourages teamwork and often reveals important classes that might be missed by an individual analyst. Next one is a phase 2, analyze information. So once brainstorming is complete, the collected information is carefully reviewed, duplicate classes are removed, similar classes are merged, and very large classes are divided into smaller cohesive classes. The final objective is to produce a clean set of analyzed classes, each having clear responsibilities and appropriate collaborators. The next one is looking for other sources of classes. Analyzed classes are not identified only from requirement documents. They can also come from physical objects such as customer, books, or vehicles. Business documents such as invoice, orders, and report cards may also suggest important classes. Similarly, user interface elements, external systems, database, and payment gateways often represent important concepts that should be included in the analyze model. Next, we are move on to the first cut analysis model. So, after completing all three techniques, the identified classes are combined to create a first cut analysis model. During this stage, duplicated classes are removed, similar names are standardized using the project glossary, and the relationship between the classes are refined. So the final outcome is well organized set of analysis classes containing important attributes, 3 to 5 responsibilities, and appropriate collaborations. Before to the end of the session, let's quickly review today's session. We learned three techniques for identifying analysis classes: noun verb analysis, CRC analysis, and identifying classes from other sources. We also understood how these techniques help analysts create an accurate and complete analysis model. Thank you, and see you in the next session.